Hi, that's me. And I did not love The Dark Knight. Okay, let me explain. I don't actually think these movies are bad, or even slightly bad. I just don't really like them as Batman movies, and let me explain why. Now don't get me wrong, okay, DC has always been my favorite. I'm not some kind of weird DC hater, okay? And Batman's always been my favorite character. Even without the superhero elements, he's a boy whose parents were murdered in front of him at a young age, and he strives to protect life and to make Gotham and the world a better place. I think these elements are enhanced by the superhero aspects. He strikes fear in the hearts of criminals and uses Batman as a symbol to physically stop criminals, but to also make criminals scared to go outside, because they never know if the Batman could be after them that night. And I just gotta say, I also absolutely love when the criminals don't even know if he's real or not. I don't know why, he's just such a popular character in IP that it's just kind of funny that criminals and just civilians in general wouldn't believe that he exists, even if he hasn't been around in their universe that long. Okay, after the stuttering ramble of an intro, let's get into the reasons why I don't love The Dark Knight. Part 1. The costume. Dude, this just does not look good. It's weird. It simply just never screams Batman, which is disappointing because this is what most people see him as. But just look at this. Why does his head look like a bobblehead and his mouth's all squished? It's pretty much just weird armor. Not to say I never liked Batman armor because it can be really cool. I just don't think this looks that great. Okay, I know that one was really short, but the next one will be a lot longer, I promise. Okay, on to part 2. The fight choreography. It's just kind of bland, and it's mostly just punching. The scene of Batman and Bane fighting on The Dark Knight Rises is so weirdly unengaging, and I was a little confused watching if I was like watching a weird fan film or something. I'm kidding, but seriously, it's really not that good. And even though Batman gets his fucking back broken at the end of the fight, it still doesn't even feel that impactful for some reason. I think this scene could have definitely used some music or something else. Like seriously, it's kind of ridiculous. Batman feels like such a little bitch in this scene, and I know it's on purpose to make Bane seem like a threat, but it just kind of punches him and throws him around. Like, I really wish it showed Batman using his smarts to try to use the environment and gadgets to try to win, still lose. Like, show Batman breaking one of the supports and directing the damage towards Bane. Like, how maybe this metal pipes and bombs don't really phase this guy? Because it would have been so cool to see Batman shown as a great fighter, but this guy still kicking his ass? Like, okay, he uses smoke pellets, but that's really it. Okay, I do have to say actually, the Batman does use the dark and try to gain the upper hand that way. Even though they were both trained in the League of Shadows, I still think it was a really nice moment, and I'm glad they added that. Yeah, I don't know, I'll just show a few more scenes pretty quickly so you'll see my point, like the Joker crash the party scene. It's kind of stiff karate, although I do have to talk about the scene later. And the Batman vs. SWAT scene is just kind of stiff karate mostly, but I'll talk about the scene at the end still. The garage fight scene, just dog abuse and stiff karate. Anyways, let's move on to the next segment. Batman's not that intimidating. I never felt in these movies like people would be terrified of this man. This Batman, this creature of the night. It's always annoyed me how much he just feels like a special agent and not a myth that everyone would be such incredible shock from seeing that they would just straight up shake from fear. And oh my ghillie Seuss, why does Batman sound like he has throat cancer? His voice in Batman Begins wasn't horrible, it was fine. Whatever, but for some reason his voice just kept getting weirder and weirder. I'll show a little comparison from each movie.
This is just the beginning. If they hit the whole city with toxin, there's nothing to stop Gotham tearing itself apart from mass panic.
How are they gonna do that?
They'll be using the train. The monorail follows the water mains to the central hub beneath Wayne Tower.
Understand. You have all these rules, and you think they'll save you.
Who's in control?
I have one rule.
I am so sorry I broke your rule.
But the cannons have enough firepower to make a path for people.
It doesn't really ruin the movie, but it's so damn annoying. I can't believe they used that voice. It's not scary. He's not scary. He just feels like a special agent with some armor, and I know I've already said that before, but he doesn't make me go, wow, these people should be shitting their pants right now. It just makes me go, well, they're gonna lose. Oh well. And this mainly leads into the next segment, and that is the pure aesthetic. This part is the biggest reason why I just can't love these movies. I want to, but I can't. Honestly, Batman Begins gave me the most Gotham feel out of all the movies, and honestly, that's kind of sad, because even it isn't super gothic. It's just mainly the narrows and the train, and just honestly, I've never really liked the League of Shadows, which kind of sucks, because that's kind of where Batman got his training and everything, so, you know, it's a big deal. But I've honestly never hated them. It's just I've never seen them portrayed in media in a satisfying way, to be honest. So it's just more of a personal thing, and I don't really hold it against the movie that much. I usually just don't like to see them a lot. But The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises are, in my opinion, the biggest offenders in the series. And that's most of the movies, so that's not very good for me. But oh my god, why the hell does Gotham look like this? Nothing about this looks like it should be Gotham. This is literally just Chicago. And that annoys the hell out of me because Gotham is one of the most integral things to getting a Batman movie or story right. I mean, not like writing wise, but you know, aesthetically, it's a city that just feels unique and creative, but corrupt in every way, but still feels like it has hope. And it feels like dark in Gotham, while at times still being super colorful too. It's a living city. Getting Gotham right is a very important part of getting a Batman story right. The villains in Gotham range from crazy but calculating and actually smart clown princes of crime to a cowardly greedy penguin that's somehow creepy and fun to see on screen. And I know this is a very controversial opinion, like the most controversial opinion I could possibly have about this movie, but I don't love the Joker in The Dark Knight. Now, I've said some pretty controversial opinions so far, but this is the most mind-boggling one. Now listen, I actually love Heath Ledger's performance, okay? I think he did an amazing job. It's menacing, smart, weirdly funny, and creepy, and steals the spotlight. But it's just not what the Joker should be, in my opinion. I've always loved him, but he's kind of lacking the confidence and overwhelming presence the Joker should have. He's just the anarchy, in my opinion. Not as much the smarts and the confidence and just the general Jokerness of him. I don't know how to describe it. The Joker should make Batman nervous because the Joker is a sociopath who is fascinated with Batman and won't kill him, but he doesn't care who else he kills. He's unpredictable and a serious wild card, but he almost always has a plan and he's actually smart. It makes me so mad when shows or movies don't actually understand that he's smart, because as crazy as he is, he's a smart and cunning individual with almost no limits, and that's what makes him so dangerous. But although there are a lot of problems I have with this movie, I still appreciate it. Now, I definitely don't hate it. I don't know why, but if you say you criticize something or you have problems with something, people just think you hate it, and I don't know why, because that's just not true. I really do like these movies, and there are plenty of things I respect and appreciate. So heading into our last section, the parts I love. Okay, I know I just clowned on this movie a lot and talked a lot of shit about The Dark Knight, but don't get mad, because I really do appreciate these movies. There are things that I just smile at every time I see them, like the Batman vs. SWAT scene. I know I already clowned on this scene for the choreography, but I actually like this scene. It's a scene where Batman figures out these people aren't Joker's men and are actually hostages, and it's just a scene of him saving everyone before he goes and fights the Joker. And he doesn't have time to tell the police that these people are hostages, not Joker's goons, because there's a bomb on 2 ships, each with a detonator, and one has innocent people, one is prisoners, and they have to decide which one they're gonna blow up, but neither of them blow each other up, and it's a really beautiful scene, and I love this ending. I just can't stress enough. I don't hate these movies. It has a really amazing ending and climax to the movie. I really don't hate the scene. I can't. It's amazing. And some things I noticed on rewatch is that the Joker keeps changing his story about the scars, so we don't actually have any definitive origin for this character, which is pretty awesome. And it's not like he can just tell us anymore because he's probably lying. I also love, and I mean love, the practical effects. There are some scenes in this movie that you will not believe were done in real life. Like the hospital explosion scene is fucking real. They blew up a hospital in this movie. And the truck flip scene is also pretty cool. But seriously, they blew up a hospital. And I don't really hate CGI, okay? I enjoy seeing things that are done well and look real without CGI, okay? It's just really satisfying. But I've never been able to love these movies, because overall, they don't feel like Batman movies for a lot of reasons. But I still can't say they're not good movies, because, well, they are. They're just my reasons why I personally don't love The Dark Knight. So I was throwing my batarangs and I missed. And this one landed in the bush, like, upwards. It was... Like, look at that. You're just kind of sitting there. That's so sick. A dumbass guy named Desmond does some parkour on the beach. I don't know the secrets to being successful, just a child prodigy.